Very good morning to all of you. How are you preparing for the upcoming CMA exam? Yes, 2 lectures of custom are over. In the first lecture, we discussed the definitions, the basics. Second, we discussed the types of the custom duty and the format what you have to use in the exam to solve questions of 7 marks. Weightage and all we have discussed in the paper pattern separately for CMA students. These lectures are also applicable for the base level preparation for final exam as well as for CS exam. Today's lecture is the most important. What is exactly asked, other than 2 MCQs which are going to be covered from last 2 classes, it's exactly today's class how they are going to frame the problem and the format. I'll make you understand. We will practice more than 20 questions and it will be very clear to all of you. Yes, most of you have taken the printout of these notes. Yes, for custom, right? In case if you don't have the printout, just message in the Telegram. You will get it. It is already pinned over there. So you can download that from Telegram, all the material. DT we have completed, GST, all practice batch we have completed. And today is the last class for customs. Upcoming now classes are starting for costing for CMA and CA Inter. You will get to know all the details in the challengers group or in the Telegram group, right? Okay. And also I'll be taking up chapter wise, like combining the chapters. We'll be writing some exams for GST. Do topic mila ke, time of supply, value of supply, like that, so that you get a good practice, quality, good professional level papers are being prepared. So stay in touch with this channel, right? Okay. Yes, we have already discussed the MTP also of the CMA Inter for DT, IDT, custom, all is over. CA also it is over. Yes, costing batch is for September attempt of the CA as well as for the next December attempt for the CMA students. Okay. Any queries you have, you can put directly. Let us straightly dive. Let me share the screen and the material, what we are using. Okay. This is our basic types of custom duty. We have drawn a diagram. You remember what is, okay, in the end today we'll be doing some MCQs also. Do you remember we have already discussed what is the custom waters, territorial waters of India till 12 nautical miles. Until 200 nautical miles, it's exclusive economic zone, which is India only for the purpose of oil extraction, right? What's the difference between transit of goods and transshipment? Those goods, those don't come to India. They are in the same ship via India. They are going somewhere else. Transit of goods. Transshipments are goods are unloaded at the port, but they don't enter India. From port itself, again, they are taken to the other place. That's transshipment of the goods. Just important ones I'm revising for all of you. MCQs में बहुत पूछते हैं कि when the goods are imported, what you have to prepare when the vessel comes. You have to prepare the arrival manifest, or all the 3 ways of import are covered: roadways, vehicle, vessel for the waterways, and aircraft. Okay, this definition I'll be requiring, dear students, again to make you learn the format to solve the questions. What is FOB? All the expenses up to the point of loading the goods into the vehicle or aircraft incurred by the exporter. Okay. So till the goods are loaded at the export port, wahan ka jo loading, unloading and all, till the export port, that is free on board. After that, when the goods are coming, say via waterways or airways, again free on board mein, you have to add the freight from say Sri Lanka to India, and you have to add the on-road insurance. This will be called as cost, insurance and freight. That is CIF value. Ma'am, custom duty is charged on what? FOB or CIF, dear students? CIF. That's why already it is given in both. When I import the goods, it's not only exporter's cost. On the way, airways or waterways, whatever is freight and insurance incurred, that's also my responsibility. So the moment the goods come at the port, till then, whatever is the expenditure, we will add. Don't worry, this is the first chapter revision. More detail we are going to do when I'll make you write the format. We'll solve the problems, and today by the end of the class you will learn and go. These three classes of custom, frankly I have taken three, but two classes enough है. एक में theory और concept और एक में problems बस है for 10 marks. It's not that I'm willing to teach less or you are willing to learn less. It's that already income tax GST is enough fast for 3 hours of exam. Right? Shall we continue? Yeah, chat box is on. Any doubts you have, you can put it in the chat box. Yeah, derelict, jetsam, wreck, float, all this. Whenever it comes to India by way of floating and all, it is treated as goods and you have to pay the duty before you take it for home clearance. ठीक है ना? Okay. Now, whenever the goods are pilfered, chota mota theft, when time is important, okay, that theft has been incurred after unloading the goods and before the proper officer sends it for home clearance. In this period, if there is any theft on that part, you don't have to pay duty. Remission of the duty means, okay, they'll cancel the duty if the goods are completely destroyed, either in unloading. Sometimes, the goods are not immediately cleared for home consumption. They are taken in the warehouse. So in the warehouse also, if the goods are completely destroyed by water, rain, fire, accident, anything, then that duty is cancelled. Okay? Just brushing up the things. Let me know, please, the feedback. Are you all following AC all clear? And then 5 minutes more and we will dive into the pumping heart of this chapter. That's the 7 marks problems. ठीक है? चलो. Distinction I have already discussed. They can ask in the theory. Abatement of the duty. Suppose when I imported the goods, they were of 1 lakh and custom duty was 10,000. But then because in the go down there was some moisture, something, they got deteriorated. And now the goods value is 70,000. And now I want to please remember one thing. If the goods are in the bonded warehouse of the port, the duty is payable only when they are cleared from the warehouse for home consumption. तो अब goods की value अगर 70,000 हो गई है, तो then what I have to pay the duty? That is 7,000. So can we get abatement? Abatement means reduction in the duty. Answer is yes. Okay, right. So that way we have done all this. First schedule of the custom tariff act is giving the rates and all for import duty, and the second schedule is giving the rate and all for the export duty. Done. Chalo, material hai beta sabke paas. Types of duty. Before I go into this, let us go to the notebook and revise our Bij mantra, I call it prayer. For customs, ये चीज आना है आपको. Assessable value, okay, is the CIF. Ma'am, but how to derive CIF from FOB? That is today's class. I'll make you write. पहले ये तो देखो, how duties are charged. On the CIF value, carriage, insurance and freight, basic custom duty is charged. Nothing given, do it at 10%. Okay, right. Next, after the basic custom duty, it is the social welfare surcharge. Nothing given in the exam, like taxes charged on income, health and education is charged on tax. Like that, social welfare surcharge is charged on basic custom duty. After this, if other duties are there, protective duties, safeguarding duties, wo sab le lo. You get assessable value for GST. Import of goods is treated as, what do you call it, as integrated, like IGST लगता है. Import of the goods is treated as interstate sale And IGST will be levied on the assessable value, including all the duties and the social welfare surcharge. Clear to all of you? Right. And IGST के साथ, if these are demerit goods, tobacco and all, then GST compensation cess is also charged, not on IGST, at 28% on the assessable value. So you get the total value of the goods. Okay. For SWS, social welfare surcharge, I have given some points which they can ask you in MCQs. तो हम वापस से रिवाइज कर लेते हैं बेटा. क्या है देखो. Social welfare surcharge is charged only on import, not on export. Social welfare surcharge is charged only on the basic custom duty and protective. That's why after charging social welfare, I have written here other duties. Sub duties पे SWS नहीं लगेगा. And what is the rate given? अगर कुछ नहीं दिया है तो कितना लेंगे? 10%. Okay, right. For safeguarding duty and all, I made you do the problem. वो 1%, 9%. I'll revise now. For MCQs, they can ask you. All right. We'll write more of the format and practice the problems also in notebook. आ जाओ. Basic custom duty is charged on the CIF value. Either if it is ad valorem, means the transaction value, means the percentage, like your section 15 of the, what do you call it as, जो आपका GST में था. और नहीं तो for some products they give tariff value. You have imported at what rate we don't know. We will take 100 kgs at 1000. You may not have imported at 1000, but tariff value means that the value of the goods is fixed by the department. I mean, say the custom authorities, जो भी देते रहते हैं. And then on this you have to pay 12% basic custom duty and so on. Even though the billing may be 900 or 1900. ठीक है? सोशल वेलफेयर सेस IGST. IGST का क्रेडिट मिलेगा, बिल्कुल मिलेगा. IGST what you pay, no? If you are a registered supplier and input output you are doing, you can definitely claim the credit. Next. GST compensation says if it is there, it will be levied. They'll give you. If they don't give you, it's on the demerit goods, 28%. Protective duties. Yeah. Protective duties like anti-dumping duty, safeguarding duty, these are levied when we feel that the imported goods, either they have got subsidy or या फिर हमारा rate that's है, उनका भी rate 10 है, but then they are dumping it and they are giving it at 7. So exactly the difference between the normal price is 10 and this is 7. That difference will be the anti-dumping duty. Okay. Safeguarding duty is charged on all the countries import, provided this condition satisfies. मतलब एक दो ऐसी, there are conditions wherein the safeguarding duty is not chargeable. If the import of that article from that country does not exceed 3% of total import. Developing country, not developed country. And now from all the developing countries, whatever you have imported, if the total exceeds 9% of the total import, then safeguarding duty लगेगा. फिर से एक बार, for this refer the second class. Today is the third class. The second class and the problem. Okay, right. So this is all about the types of the duties. Anti-dumping duty के लिए we have done problems also. Assessable value पे basic custom duty, basic पे SWS, you are getting this. Yeah. But they are saying that the market value is 17,50,000 according to the dollars. And then why they are supplying to you in 14? This difference they will charge as anti-dumping duty. And you will again get it at market value. And on this, IGST is charged. मैम अगर 28% कंपेंसेशन सेस रहता तो किस पे लगाएंगे? 17,50,000. All clear to all of you? No, please. In middle you are asking, so I'm answering that costing classes will be in the live in Zoom and recorded in the concept classes app. They will not be live in YouTube. Types of duties. Till here we have done. Let us start now the valuation rules and the format which you have to use to solve the question and answers. Anyone is having any doubt until now? Pucho. Just 2 minutes. Huh? Yeah, this valuation rules we are starting. Okay, chalo. Now, 2 to 3 things are very important. So we will understand, we will learn it, and we'll write a note for it also. Okay. What is the taxable event in case of import? This is being asked, dear students, as MCQs. See, when you import the goods, there are so many transactions. You place order, they supply the goods. The goods come into the territorial waters of India. Then suppose they are coming with the vessel, so the vessel owner, whoever is the custom authorities in the vessel, the master of the ship, he will send an import manifest, and then the goods will be unloaded and maybe brought to smaller ships, then to port and all. So when will you collect the tax? Taxable event is like the chargeability section. We call it in income tax now. Owner tenant relationship, house property is section 22 chargeability. Employer-employee relationship, section 15 chargeability. Like that, this section says that in case of import, you can't say, array, you have come in the 12 nautical miles. Wait. First pay the duty, then come inside. No. Import of goods will commence when they cross the territorial waters. 12 nautical miles from the baseline is the territorial waters, but continues and is completed when they become the part of the mass. Till the goods are, once they come into the territorial waters of India, till they are unloaded at the port, till they are in the warehouse, it is the taxable event. Once they go out of the warehouse and they merge with domestic goods, now no longer they are imported goods. Ab to sab kya ho gaya? It will all be same. Take your time. As a teacher, I know ki when even as a student, I have studied this. It's easy to understand, but it will take time to learn. And I'm taking that responsibility to make you learn and to help you solve the question answers also. Okay? चलो साथ में करते हैं. Import of goods will commence when they cross the territorial waters, but continues and is completed when they become the part of the mass. In case of goods which are cleared for home consumption, directly the goods have come on the port and they have cleared for home consumption. The taxable event being reached at the time when the goods reach the custom barriers and bill of entry for home consumption is filled. Bill of entry is document, okay, these many goods are ordered at this rate, these are the charges, this is the vehicle number or the vessel number, all. So when we submit the bill of entry ki we want to clear the goods for home consumption, हमको warehouse में नहीं रखना है, that's the taxable event. So clearance for home consumption implies that custom duty on imported goods have been paid and goods can be taken out. Once you pay the duty, you can take the goods home. Without the payment of duty, can you store it in the warehouse? Yes. Then it is called as ex bond bill of entry. Ex bond bill of entry. Nice. In case of the goods cleared for warehousing, if the imported goods are taken into warehouse, goods continue to be in the custom bond with ex bond bill of entry. Yeah. And import takes place only when they are cleared. Means, can the goods be stored in the warehouse without the payment of the duty? Answer is yes. When it is cleared for home, that time only you have to pay the duty. Clear to all of you? Right. If the goods are cleared to be stored in warehouse, payment of duty is required at the time of clearance of goods. Okay. That means payment of duty is deferred till they are cleared from warehouse. You can store the goods in the warehouse without the payment of duty. Once again, what's the taxable event from import? When the goods enter the territorial waters and when the bill of entry is submitted for clearance, for home clearance. Okay. Now, what's the taxable event in case of export? Export of good is completed when they cross the territorial waters. If this is India, 12 nautical mile के बाहर चले गए goods, export is completed. That means if the goods sink in the territorial waters, export will not be completed. Just 3 nautical miles from the sea, the goods have been sent and they are destroyed by cyclone or anything. Then what do we say, dear students? Will you charge the export duty? Answer is no. Taxability of the event is only for your understanding. Is this clear? Sorry for the disturbance once again. Just one. Thank you for waiting. Did you get it clear? What is the taxability of import when the goods come into territorial waters and bill of entry is presented for home consumption? What is the taxable event in case of export when the goods export is completed? It's also called as entry outward is granted. Bye bye, you can leave. And then the goods cross the custom territorial waters and they are out. Okay. The next two are very, very important for problem solving also, 4 marks, and for MCQs also. So थोड़ा ध्यान से करते हैं इसको. Date of determination of the rate of the duty and tariff valuation. You know the import export duties rates keep on changing. जिस दिन vessel आया उस दिन 12% था. The day it unloaded it was 10%. When the date when goods left the warehouse it was 18%. So at what rate we should charge the custom duty? Because it's not a one-day job. Import and export is thoda, it's a longer time, right? So now, which rate I have to take? The rate of duty and what is tariff value? I told you, no, I'm importing 100 kgs at 1000, but government fixes a tariff value. No, this product, the import value will be taken 900 for custom duty purpose. So 900 le lo. For some product, I've given all that list ahead, but just what rate I should charge. The day the vessel entered in India, it was 10%. When we unloaded, it was 12%. When we send them for home consumption, it was 18%. So which rate I should charge the custom duty? One thing is clear or not, custom duty is charged when the goods are leaving the port. Okay, for home consumption. Home consumption मतलब घर जाके खा जाओ नहीं है. It's home consumption means you are home country. That's you are taking the goods, imported goods to your factory, to your business premises. Okay. So the rate of the duty which you have to take, goods entered for home consumption, then date of bill of entry or date of entry inward, whichever is later. Super. So many times, yet the vessel is in the sea only, and bill of entry advance में ही submit कर देते. What is bill of entry? ये bill of entry document to clear the goods is submitted ahead only, but the entry inwards is afterwards. So whichever is later. Suppose entry inward has happened on 20th of March, but bill of entry submitted on 23rd. Then 23rd ke din, what is the rate that you have to take? Is this clear to all of you? Yes. So when the goods are cleared for home consumption, you have to take the date on which bill of entry is presented or the entry inward of the vessel, whichever is later. Next, goods cleared from warehouse for home consumption. See, sometimes when the goods are imported, directly they are cleared for home consumption. हमारे हम अपने goods लेके जा रहे हैं. I means may not be the owner, through him anyone who is representing. ठीक है. So, in that case, bill of entry or entry inward of the vessel, whichever is later. I'm going to solve questions also for this. And this rate and accessible value combined questions are also asked. So, today's class is very, very important. Watch it once again. You don't need to refer any other material. Everything is covered up in this. Only some more past exam questions I have collected that I'll take for practice a little later. आज तो आप सीख रहे हो ना, तो ये पूरा सीख लो. Okay. Now, sometimes the goods are not cleared for home consumption, but they are warehoused without payment of duty. Now, when they are cleared from the warehouse for the home consumption, the date on which bill of entry for home consumption is present. Date on which bill of entry for home consumption is. अब यहाँ पे entry inward तो कब का हो चुका? Entry inward is already over. After that, goods have been parked in the warehouse. Now from warehouse, it's time to give them a farewell. That time bill of entry for home consumption is presented. On that day, what is the rate you have to take? And in any other case, suppose you have evaded paying duty and you are liable to pay the duty today, then what is the date on which duty is paid today? So whatever is the rate today, you have to pay. Simple. Take your time. And one question. One concept, one question we are doing. And soon we will go to the combined questions also. Yes. फिर से एक बार. Which rate of duty I should consider? Ma'am, you said no 10%. Array, nothing given, take the basic custom duty 10%. SWS, social welfare surcharge 10%. But if they give the rates the day, if the goods are cleared for home consumption, bill of entry or entry inward, whichever is later. If the goods are warehoused and now cleared for home consumption, bill of entry for home consumption. In any other case, the date where you pay the duty. These are all nice questions asked in some of the other exam or MCQs. Aram se padho, you are in the learning mode. Another half an hour, you will go in the doing mode. Surely you will be able to do the combine questions also of custom accessible value along with this. Shall we start? If the bill of entry is presented on 10th of August and the aircraft arrives, yeah, for airfare there's a separate rule for FOB. मैं आपको पढ़ाऊंगी आज आगे. But what I want to say is, please be careful and read carefully whether the goods have come by waterways, airways. मैम क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है. It will affect. Okay. Chalo, let us start now. Custom duty part. Check up this question. if the bill of entry is presented on 10th of August and the aircraft arrives on 28th of August. So bill of entry you have already presented in advance and aircraft comes later. Okay, then what will be the date for the rate and the tariff? Okay, see, on 10th of August the rate may be 10%. Here the custom duty rate may be 12%. To which rate you will take? Okay, in this situation the relevant date for determining the rate will be 20th of August. Bill of entry or yera entry inward, whichever is later. So entry inward is later. So whatever is the rate on the entry inward 20th of August, that you have to take. Clear? Now, date for determining of the rate of duty for export. Export se related problems are less asked, but definitely they are asked in MCQs. So, date for determining the rate of duty for export. Export ke liye I have sent the goods on port. They are inspected, then it is approved, then they are loaded in the vessel. After 2 days, the master says, okay, the vessel is leaving, and then they go out of the territory. So it is taking a longer duration, right? So now, how will you do that? When the goods are entered for export, the date on which the proper officer makes an order permitting clearance and loading of the goods, entry outward. Okay, you've got the permission, your goods quality, rate, everything is clear, export duty we have received, bye-bye. So entry outward, the day PO, everywhere if I have written PO, it's proper officer, grants, that's the day when you have to, on that day, what is the rate you have to take. And in any other case, the date on which duty is paid. Yeah. Provision of this section will not apply to baggage and goods and imported by post. Baggage rules और अब आपको नहीं है. पहले when it was 30 marks, it was all there. Yeah. This one is hot favorite for the MCQs. ये बहुत पूछते हैं MCQs में. बहुत important. Are you clear about what rate you have to take for charging of the custom duty? Yeah. Now it is what exchange rate. Now listen carefully. This should be known orally. When you are importing the goods, you have to pay in foreign currency, right? US dollars, pounds, yens, Japanese currency, जो भी है, उसमें आपको payment देना होगा. So when I am importing the goods, I have to pay in the currency and currency rates are changing. So first, listen carefully. You should know that there are 3 currency rates usually given in the exam. Foreign currency rates are given by the RBI. Foreign currency exchange rates are given by your CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Custom. Old scanner, if you are using, it was CBEC. Now it is CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Custom, which covers your custom duty, GST, all. So one exchange rate is given by RBI, ignore. One rate is given by the Foreign Dealers Association. जो Exchange Currency Dealers Association, they also give the rate. Ignore. Which rate you will take? CBIC rate. But CBIC rate of which date? Mama, अभी तो हमने date किया. That was the date for rate of the duty. Now the date for rate of the exchange currency. हाँ? तो अब इसको वापस से देखते हैं कैसे लर्न करेंगे. देखो. In case of import, the date on which bill of entry is presented. Ma'am, but if bill of entry is presented first and then entry inward is granted, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. For rate of exchange, in case of import, bill of entry. In case of export, shipping bill. See, you have to make payments. So documents is important. जिस दिन document आएगा bill of entry, उस दिन का currency rate ले लो. जिस दिन shipping bill जाएगा document to export, that day's rate you take and put. Clear? Right. So rate of exchange means the rate of exchange determined by CBIC. Like we have CBDT for direct taxes, we have CBIC here. The rate of exchange is notified by CBIC, RBI, Foreign Exchange Dealers Association. But for the purpose of the custom, the rate notified by CBIC will only be considered. Selling rate shall be considered for import and buying rate shall be considered for export. Clear to all of you? Mark it, very important. Okay, already in question which is asked. It's very easy to solve it, but if they ask in MCQ, you can directly write the answer here. And if they ask you in question answer form, you have to write the rule. Ma'am, what's the rule? This is the rule. For rate of exchange, in case of import, date of bill of entry. In case of export, shipping bill. है ना? देखो. Determine the rate of exchange for the purpose of computation of the custom duty. Okay. Import. शिपिंग बिल कब दिया? 20 अक्टूबर को. एंट्री इनवर्ड हुई 15 अक्टूबर को. Whichever is later is for the rate of the custom duty. I am talking about the rate of the exchange. So rate of exchange के लिए bill of entry inward outward is not important. Import के लिए bill of entry 20th October का rate. Now RBI rate is not important. Like that, you know, if you cancel, no, इसको अगर तो ये clear रहेगा आपको. Which rate you will take, beta? Civic का rate, not the RBI rate. 20th October 62. And for export, the day shipping bill is presented. Shipping bill कब present किया है? 25/11 को. That's 61, 62 and 62. देखो clear है आप सबको? So 3 things we have done until now. Yes, 3 things we have done until now. What is taxable event? The day bill of entry is presented for home consumption. Till then you don't have to pay the duty. समझ में आ रहा है? You unload the goods, duty दो. ऐसे नहीं होता. You store in the warehouse, पहले duty दो. No. When the goods are cleared for home consumption, that's the taxable event. That's what we have studied. When they cross the territorial waters, but when they are cleared for home consumption. Even from warehouse when they are cleared for home consumption. Second thing I taught you is rate of custom duty. So in case of import, shipping bill or entry inward, whichever is later. In case of export, what you have to take? The rate of the duty and the tariff value and all. Okay, right? So in case of the imported goods, they have given. For exported goods, the date entry outward. Now, what is the date for taking the currency exchange rate? In case of import, the date of bill of entry. In case of export, the shipping bill. ठीक है? Gist. For currency exchange rate, the date of bill of entry or the shipping bill. शिपिंग बिल ना बेटा एक्सपोर्ट में यूज होता है, वो ऐड नहीं किया, यहाँ कर लो शिपिंग बिल. और द डेट ऑफ एंट्री, इंपोर्ट और एक्सपोर्ट. रेट और टैरिफ के लिए द डेट ऑफ बिल ऑफ एंट्री और एंट्री इनवर्ड विच एवर इज लेटर. और एक्सपोर्ट के लिए जिस दिन एंट्री आउटवर्ड है. Social welfare is charged on the basic custom duty and IGST is payable on all the duties. Clear? This sheet I have already given, no beta, in your Telegram group. Shall we write the gist here so that we learn it? Right here, booster notes. आपको लिखना है. And if you're not having the sheet, write it in the notebook. This will help you to score super well in your MCQs. Yeah. Can we just complete writing this and then I will solve your doubts if you have any? Yeah. जो अभी मैं पढ़ा रही हूँ वो MCQ के लिए भी important है and combo question also, because accessible value, if you know, you can get 7 out of 7 marks in custom and the time required is very less. In the final exam, if you can check scanner problem of the last 10 years, there's all repetition. ठीक है? चलो. So first we will write the rate of custom duty. Rate of custom duty के लिए which date I have to take? Date of entry inward. Custom duty के लिए date of entry inward or date of bill of entry. अरे this is customs class for CMA and CA Inter student. Custom valuation class बेटा. वो वीडियो के थंबनेल में नीचे टाइटल नहीं दिख रहा है ना आपको? हाँ ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. आपने पूछा, हमने आंसर किया. अगर आप ऐसे ही मजाक कर रहे हैं, परेशान कर रहे हैं, तो ठीक है, आपकी मर्जी. और नहीं सीरियसली पूछ रहे तो देखो ना, आई हैव रिटन क्वेश्चन आंसर्स आई एम गोइंग टू टेक which are definitely going to come for 7 marks in your custom exam, and all scanner mein se important ones, your past exam papers, your institute study material, all I am taking together. And you will not be surprised ki which class is going on, provided you join the Telegram group or the WhatsApp challengers group. The link is there in the description. There I always give my schedules. ठीक है बेटा? चलो अभी लिख लो. अगर आपने पढ़ा है, आइडिया है, तो यहाँ से भी ज्वाइन करोगे तो accessible value तो समझ में आ जाएगा. You can watch the video later. Rate of the basic custom duty. Ma'am, custom duty rates, they have given 10%, 12%, 18% on different dates. Which rate you have to take? Date of entry inward or date on which the bill of entry is the document is presented, whichever is later. And for export, the date of entry outward. Okay, custom authorities have done the inspection. They are satisfied. Everything is clear. Entry outward is granted. Okay, right. See, the better you do it live with me, you will have an amazing practice. Bring your calculators. I have already given the material also in the Telegram. Now, exchange rate. Exchange rate is very, very important for MCQs. Exchange rate, which date? First of all, I want all of you to write here. Exchange rate you have to take for CIBIC. Not RBI ka rate, not Federation of Exchange Dealers Association rate. Ma'am, they give 2-3 rates just to confuse you. So you have to take the CIBIC rate. Okay. In case of import, date, document is important. डॉक्यूमेंट के बेसिस पे ड्यूटी कलेक्ट होती है ना बेटा. तो डेट ऑफ बिल ऑफ एंट्री. Entry inward कब होगा? We are not concerned while taking the exchange rate. Date of bill of entry. Okay, right. And here it is, date of entry outward. That is date of presentation of the shipping bill. The day you present the shipping bill for export, that's the day you have to pay the duty. So that's the rate you have to take. The day you present bill of entry for import, that's the document on basis of which you have to pay import duty. On that day, what rate you have to take? Ma'am, here entry inward and outward is relevant? No, not relevant. Not relevant. You can write. You can write a remark ki entry inward and entry outward is not relevant. And taxable event. Ma'am, finally, okay, rate of this is clear, this is clear. But when I am liable to pay the duty, when the goods are cleared for home consumption. Ma'am, that means can we store the goods in the bonded warehouse of the port without the payment of the duty? Answer is yes. When you clear the goods for home consumption, that's the time when you are liable to pay the duty. But at what rate? जो exchange rate था the day you presented bills of exchange. What bills of exchange? The bill of entry. And for outward it is shipping bill. So write down here cleared for home consumption. Export goods के लिए what is the procedure? PO orders, entry outward. PO orders, okay, you can take the goods outside. We have been unloaded, inspected, everything is done. We'll do some very nice questions after this for this practice. Did you understand the last 3 questions what we have done abhi aaj ke class mein? I know my writing is not so good. That's why when I write notes, students listen and write very carefully. एक बार दीप्ति मैम ने लिख दिया तो फिर समझ में नहीं आया. Until now, whatever knowledge we have gained is enough to score very well in the exam, except accessible value का add list. वो मैं आपको अभी कराऊंगी, but पहले इससे related with this much only, lot of questions are asked. So let us do some simple, nice questions. Just like we did 7th, 8th one is there. Okay, right. Who will say the answer for the 8th problem based on the link? पढ़ो. Unless you don't give the answers in the chat box, we are not going to go in the next question, as this is a practice batch. नहीं मैं पूरा लिखा दे रही हूँ, आप घर में बाद में समझ लेना. No. XN company imported goods from USA for being used in manufacture of the final product. Determine the exchange rate to be considered. Okay. Isn't it a very nice question for MCQ practice also? But if they ask in question answer, they are asking you which exchange rate you will say. So the first point you have to write is you have to take the exchange rate given by CBIC. So these rates are not important. Second thing is, for taking the rate of the exchange, the entry inward and outward is irrelevant. For these goods, the day bill of entry is presented for import. For export, the date of shipping bill. Okay, right. So the date of entry inward and outward is irrelevant. Now you say the answer. Import general manifest was submitted by master of the vessel. Okay. Entry inward was granted by the custom officer. XNCO presented bill of entry. Goods were allowed to be cleared for home consumption. See, till from 10th to 31st, the import procedure is going on. Of course, I am seeing the chat box, dear students, but अभी पहले जब प्रॉब्लम पूछ रहे तो प्रॉब्लम तो कंप्लीट कर लो. आप पढ़ो और हम आपको डिस्टर्ब करेंगे तो कैसा लगेगा? Once I complete the problem, definitely I'll pause and you ask your query, बेटा. हाँ, पहले आंसर बताओ इसका क्या होगा. Are you clear? The rate of the exchange for import, bill of entry. For export, shipping bill. Bill of entry, shipping bill. Bas khatam. That too, which rates given by CIBIC. So what will be the answer for this? Who will answer? See, type and send. All of you can send. एक ने भेज दिया, अरे उसने भेज दिया, हो गया, मैम डिस्कस कर लेंगे. The more you dare to take part in the classrooms, in the live chat, in the face-to-face class, in the online class, the more you will dare in the outer world. Chalo. Yes, very good. The correct rate is 64.5. Import of goods, rate of exchange given by CIBIC, the date of presentation of the bill of entry. और एक्सपोर्ट के लिए क्या है बेटा? इंपोर्ट के लिए तो बिल ऑफ एंट्री है, एक्सपोर्ट के लिए क्या है? शिपिंग बिल जिस दिन प्रेजेंट. Okay, right. So 64. The relevant date of exchange for the purpose of import of the goods as in force is 64.5. Further, the rate of exchange given by CIBIC are considered. Rate given by RBI are irrelevant. You don't have to write all this if they ask you for MCQ, but if it is question answer, तो लिखना पड़ेगा बेटा. अच्छा question, and this one is very nice. Abhi we are doing the questions for CIF. Once we complete the FOB and CIF concept, you will get a very nice practice. Okay, is the sequence clear to all of you? Basic duty on the assessable value. SWS is on the basic duty. Then other duties. Then total. Yeah. Vikram, are you there? We are starting the next problem. क्या पूछना था बेटा आपको? पूछो. CIF value of the machine is $5,500. Air freight paid. Okay. Now CIF is included of the airfare. ये थोड़ा आगे का question यहाँ पे आ गया है. Whenever it is airfare, no, airfare cannot exceed 20% of the assessable value. Okay. I think before we do this problem, ये सब पॉइंट्स आपको पढ़ाने पड़ेंगे. ये 9th प्रॉब्लम को पेंडिंग रखो, अभी आएगा सब थ्योरी में. Let us do more problems. 9th problem is pending. Let me do the validation, then I will take up. You can take up transaction value ad valorem, add less करने के बाद, or you can take up the tariff value. Transaction value is considered. This is like exactly section 15 of the GST Act. Okay. Transaction value will be taken when price is actually paid, when goods are sold for export to India, delivery at the time and place given, buyer and seller are not related. Price is the sole consideration. There's no emotion ki okay, I'm selling it to my sister only. Chalo, market price is 100. We will take it in the 60. ऐसे नहीं है. Now, okay. So such transactions will be taken. And you have to add commission, brokerage, excluding buying commission. Ma'am, what is the buying commission? Buying commission is paid by the importer in India to his agent for representing him. See, I'm having a manufacturing unit in Hyderabad. Now I'm importing one of my parts from Vizag port. So I am not going to go to Vizag. So if I've appointed an agent who is acting on behalf of me as a buyer, he will be charging buying commission. That's not a part of the value on which custom duty. मैं क्या पढ़ा रही हूँ आपको बेटा? Are you all clear what I am teaching you? Assessable value. एक काम करते हैं. We'll go in a different way. Are you all with me? Until now, the things are clear. One second. Abhi tak, what we have done is we have just studied which rate I have to take. Rate of exchange, bill of entry, shipping bill. What is the rate of custom duty I have charged? Shipping, I mean, say the bill of entry or entry inward, whichever is later, here entry outward. What's the taxable event? When I am liable to pay the import duty, not when goods come in the territorial waters, not when goods are unloaded, not when goods are parked in warehouse, when the goods are cleared for home consumption. That's the day I have to pay the duty. Okay. Now I'm starting with the problems for calculation. How much will be the duty and which duty is paid on what? For that, I'm giving you some format and diagram which I want you to write. Hope you all have this diagram with you. अभी मैं समझा रही हूँ आपको लर्न हो जाएगा. ये वाला याद है सबको? Yeah. Now I'll teach you what is FOB and what is CIF. Okay? Chalo. Say this is USA. From here, we are bringing the goods to India. Okay? Now, there, exporter, he will take the cost of the goods. Detailed I am teaching you. Ma'am, फिर format कैसे बनाना है? Can we make a diagram in exam? No, beta. This is the mind mapping so that you will get a very good speed after half an hour. Exporter के लिए cost of the goods plus profit and his other expenses. Other expenses in export country. मतलब before the goods are loaded on for export in the export country, they may be taking royalty. बहुत एग्जाम में कॉमन एग्जाम्पल आता है. मैम अगर हमने फॉरेन कंट्री में रॉयल्टी दिया है तो और द बायर इज रिक्वायर्ड टू पे समथिंग इन अदर वे, कुछ ना कुछ, तो वॉट एवर आर द कॉस्ट इनकर्ड प्लस द प्रॉफिट, मतलब उसका सेलिंग प्राइस, अदर एक्सपेंसेस इनकर्ड, रॉयल्टी and some charges over there itself. All this is called as FOB, free on board. Clear? Free on board for custom. Clear to all of you or not? One second, dear student. Okay. Next, ये हो गया आपका free on board. Free on board में, okay, exporter is saying bye bye. My responsibility still the export cost. मतलब export करने के लिए the unloading, the basic packing, all is included in the free on board value. Importer, you come to USA and take. We said, "Arey sir, we will bear the cost you just send." So in the free on board, we will add the freight. Ma'am, you are talking about which freight? Air freight, waterways, roadways, जो भी आ रहा है freight. And we will add the insurance. We will get the CIF value. Maths logic clear नहीं है तो ये लिखो please. Free on board is the bye-bye saying in the export country plus the freight plus the insurance. Because when the goods are imported, I will have to pay all this. This will give you the CIF value. Okay. CIF वैल्यू पे क्या लगेगा? बेसिक कस्टम ड्यूटी. Basic custom duty is charged on what? CIF value. SWS, social welfare surcharge, is charged on the basic custom duty. Some of you may be feeling I'm going little slow, but dear students, I'm making you learn the format so that you get 7 out of 7 marks and do no mistake in the exam. Are you all with me? आप लोग सब साथ में हैं? समझ में आ रहा है? Okay. Ma'am, if they give FOB value, you have to come to CIF. If they give CIF, then it's fine. Then why in the ninth problem they were going reverse? There's a reason. I'll tell you. पहले आप ये समझ. First you understand this basic format. On the CIF value, I'm charging the basic custom duty. On basic custom duty, I'm charging SWS. And now I may be charging other custom duty. Other custom duty, anti-dumping duty, protective duty, safeguarding duty, कुछ ना कुछ जो भी है, other duties. Now what you get is called as assessable value for GST, IGST. On this value, IGST is charged. Ma'am, on imported goods also we have to pay GST. Answer is yes. Imported goods are treated as inter-sales. So IGST to lagta hai. And if they are demerit goods, which we don't want to encourage, then goods compensation cess. Ma'am, all this is written in your material, yes, but when Dipti ma'am is writing, you should write. That means it's very important. I want you to be fitted in your mind. Bolo. Now what you get is the total value. If you calculate the total value of the imported goods, you will not get marks. How much is the duty they have paid? Basic duty. This, other, IGST and this. Okay. Now very important note is IGST credit will be given. See, if you're importing the goods and you're paying IGST, तो इनपुट टैक्स आउटपुट टैक्स तो मैम आईजीएसटी का क्रेडिट मिलेगा, बिल्कुल मिलेगा, right? And now sometimes they give you other expenses like after unloading in the Vizag godown, freight from port to factory. Once the goods reach the port and the duty is paid, after that, whatever expense you incurred, that's part of your expense and goods. But on that, you don't have to pay custom duty. Are you getting? Custom duty pay karne ke baad, you may take the goods from the port to factory. Not included. Following cost are not included. I'll revise. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Freight from port to factory नहीं लेंगे. Other charges at port. You know, sometimes you don't take it, you don't submit the document on time, you have to pay other demurrage charges. Demurrage charges भी बोलते हैं. इस पे custom duty नहीं लगती. Other charges, designing, ये वो. Royalty. Royalty, what you have paid in their country, definitely it is going to be there. Some more 2-3 lines you leave. Whenever it comes in the problem, we will add. Ab designing charge hi de diye. So if the designing charge are necessary and you have sometimes paid in the export country, Acha, there are sometimes the seller is directly required to pay the third party. Ma'am, this exactly same you taught in transaction value also. So will it be included in the part of the FOB? Yes. Free on board is the value given by the exporter. In that, if you add on-road freight and insurance, you will get the CIF, and free on board plus freight and insurance on CIF. You have to charge basic custom duty, social welfare, and other duty. On all this, you have to charge the IGST. Any doubt in this? Take this, and already 1 hour is over. So take a 5 minutes break, and after coming, we are solving with the question answers. Okay. Are you all also back? Yeah. Yeah, I'm checking the chat box, but if there is a doubt in between the question, it's very difficult, beta, to check. Okay, so we are starting with the problems of accessible value and on basis. See, sometimes in the exam, they are even asking for 4 marks. How to calculate accessible value? What is the accessible value? वहां तक ठीक है. Or once you get the accessible value, how do you charge the duties? So let us revise now. First, you should know what is FOB. Free on board is all the cost and the profit and the expenditure incurred by the exporter till it reaches the export port. Wahan tak, here the value is FOB. Now, when the goods are coming from the export country to India, in between the freight and insurance is incurred. On good on road या on vessel, freight होगा, insurance होगा. If you add that, when the goods reach the Indian port, you get the CIF value. Once you get the CIF value, add basic custom duty, add SWS and other custom duty. Okay, right. Basic custom duty is always calculated on CIF value. SWS, social welfare surcharge, is always calculated on the basic custom duty. Other custom duties are also there. Okay. Other custom duties पे SWS नहीं लगेगा. Now what you get is called as accessible value for IGST purpose. Import is to have rates par. Imported goods, if they come at a cheaper rate and if you say नहीं इसको IGST नहीं लगेगा, so then they will be cheaper and we don't want imports to increase more, right? So that purpose, on the value along with all the duties, you will charge the IGST. Okay. Some of the goods which are like demerit goods, on that goods compensation cess is also charged, not on IGST, on accessible value. This is the total value of the goods. Okay. IGST credit will be given and falling cost will not be included. If they say after the goods reach the port, other charges from the port to the factory, freight from the port to the factory, so these all costs will not be included. Is this clear to all of you? How to charge the accessible value? Okay, right. Now here one additional point is there, then that's all for the teaching part. Last 1 घंटे से हम पढ़ ही रहे हैं, पर ये बहुत अच्छा point है. Sometimes FOB is given and transport, or another name is freight, is not given. So transport and freight is going to be there, right? If it is not given, you have to take it as 20% on the FOB. 20% on the FOB. Ma'am, is this rate fixed? Answer is yes. See, if it is not given, then take 20%. Okay. In case of water and roadways. Ma'am, what about airways? Airways में even if it is given, freight given cannot exceed 20% of FOB. I'm repeating. If the import is from waterways or roadways and whatever actual freight they give, then take actual freight. If actual freight given, then take actual freight. But if actual freight is not given, then freight you have to take as 20% of the FOB. But in case of airways, even if they give actual freight, you can't take freight more than 20% of the FOB. There is a restriction. Same way now insurance. See, in FOB, if you add freight and insurance, you get the CIF. So insurance कैसे लेंगे बेटा? 1.125% of the FOB. 1.125% of the FOB. In airways also same. 1.125% of FOB. Once in the exam, don't get confused. I'm teaching you all the aspects. If the freight is not given, take 20%. In case of air, if the freight is not given, take 20%. If it is given, still it cannot exceed 20%. If insurance is not given, in all the cases, 1.125% of the FOB. Okay. Now what you get? Okay. Your freight and insurance. FOB. I'm writing here also. I hope you all are comfortable writing. Don't take the screenshot, बेटा एक बार लिख ही लो आप तो आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा. FOB plus freight plus insurance. You get what? CIF. CIF. And now the custom duty. Basic custom duty is chargeable on the CIF. यहाँ तक तो ठीक है. Sometimes what they say, if CIF is given, can we do minus insurance, minus freight to get the FOB? Ma'am, but why you have to do? They might have taken the actual freight, whereas I told you, in airways, the FOB's 20% freight only is allowed. So in exam, duty is always chargeable on the CIF. But in case if directly CIF is given, okay, then you have to minus the insurance, minus the freight to get the FOB. And now on FOB, 20% of FOB you will take as freight, especially airways. Ma'am, in exam, how will we come to know that here you have to take the this 20% वाला slot is only for airways. तो air से ही आए कैसे पता चलेगा? In exam, in the question they give that air freight is paid 8,000. We don't know what is 8,000. उसको minus कर दो CIF में से. Insurance भी minus कर दो. This is not anything to be buttified or learned. This is to be understood, and after this, when I solve the problems, it's very clear. It's going to be very clear. Okay, once again, what's the format? First, you start with FOB. What is the FOB? ध्यान से सुनो. I'm repeating for all of you. If you have a doubt, comment below. But in between, if you comment, ma'am, देख तो लो, मैं क्या बोलूं आपको? आप रुको तो, let me complete my part. Then you say, okay. FOB. What is FOB? Export country's value. When it comes to import, added in FOB is freight and insurance. You get CIF. On CIF, you charge basic custom duty. On basic, even if they say or don't say, you have to charge SWS. Whenever you get a question in direct tax, calculate tax, you have to calculate with 4% cess. हाँ, ये देखो, total income पे tax लगता है. टैक्स पे सरचार्ज लगता है. टैक्स प्लस सरचार्ज पे सेस लगता है. Is this mindset clear or not? Same way, SWS on BCD, social welfare surcharge, 10%. Other custom duties. Now you get the value for the IGST. Add IGST. And now goods compensation cess, if it is there for the demerit goods, you get the total value of the goods. Okay. Now, ma'am, is the freight and insurance necessary? Yes. Ma'am, if the value is not given. In exam, if they don't give you the freight from say USA to India, then 20% of FOB is taken as freight. Insurance is taken 1.125% of the FOB. Freight is taken 20% of the FOB. Okay. Lot of patiently, carefully I am teaching, and you want time to write this, let me know. Only in case of airfare, इसको 5-star, Kit Kat, Eclairs, Dairy Milk, सब खिला दो. Very important for solving the questions and very important for MCQs. In case of waterways, roadways, if they give actual freight, take actual freight. If they don't give, take freight as 20% of the FOB. In case of airways, even if they give actual freight, it cannot exceed 20% of the FOB. And what is insurance, ma'am, if not given? 1.125% of the FOB. So you will get what? CIF. So many questions in the exam, if you see in your scanner and all. 1 second, and here something is blinking. Yeah, okay. Here, if they give CIF and it is airways minus the insurance, minus the freight to get FOB, and then forget about the actual freight, you take 20% of FOB as the freight, because that's the maximum freight allowed in airways. The more I solve the problem, it will be clear. Sometimes we want the FOB, we know the freight, we don't know the insurance, but we know the CIF. CIF मालूम है, freight मालूम है. So if insurance, if the, or say insurances need मालूम है, freight नहीं मालूम है. So if FOB का 20% is the freight, if CIF is given, can we take this is 120 and 20 by 120? Are you getting maths logic? FOB plus freight is equal to CIF. If this is 100, this is 20, this is 120. If they give you 120, can you calculate the freight is equal to CIF into 20 by 120? Ma'am, when to do 20 by 100? When you are calculating freight 100% on FOB. When you have to do 120 into 20 by 120, when you have taken the CF. All these problems will be clear if you patiently sit for another 40 minutes and solve the questions with me. Okay? So this was all mind mapping. Okay. In case of commission, you have to add all the commission required to purchase the goods, because it's a part of purchase, except buying commission. Buying commission nahi lenge. Kya, on what's the reason and all that is given in the notes. First you understand. Computation of the transaction value of the imported goods. Okay. As per rule 10, while determining the transaction value, following cost or value being not included in the price shall be added with the price actually paid or payable. Okay. Following cost will be added: commission and brokerage, except buying commission. Buying commission is not a part of the accessible value. Cost of containers. If you are paying for the extra packing, okay, we will send you 100 boxes of 5 rupees each, or आप उसमें goods भेजना. So obviously that's like basic packing added. Cost of packing, whether for labor or material. Appropriate value of the goods or services supplied by buyer, free of cost or at a reduced cost, for use in production and sale in the export country. As a seller, I am paying designing charges for the, as a buyer, importer, I am paying the designing charges for the USA exporter or some material or part. It's going to add up in the value of import, na? Import goods ka value 500 रुपए है, but per piece I'll pay designing charges as royalty to one of the exporter ka relative. So will that be added? Yes. Any expenditure incurred till the export, whether it is whether it is incurred in India or there, you have to take it. So material, part, designing charges, ये सब लेंगे हम, ठीक है? Right. Now, royalty and license fees payable by the buyer for the exporter. See, royalty or other license fees and all you are paying in their country, or it's okay if you are paying in rupees in our country, but you have to take that. Other payments made by the buyer to the seller or to the third party. I'm paying 500 rupees to the seller, exporter, and 100 rupees to his relative. So for me, the cost of the goods is 600, no? Simple. Isn't it exactly like your transaction value of GST? Put me a yes in the chat box. Clear है या नहीं आप सबको? Yes, all these costs will not come in the final exam, but like this, one of it can come. Commission added except buying commission, cost of containers. If they are returnable, then the difference cost you add up. Cost of packing, material, designing charges, fees paid to the third party and all. Value of imported goods shall be the price for delivery at the time and place of importation. Hence, it includes the cost of transport, loading, unloading, associated with the delivery of imported goods to the place of importation. Cost of insurance also. Till you import the goods, जो cost लगता है सब add करेंगे for import duty. Import duty is charged on CIF. Export. See, when I am exporting, I am an exporter now. मेरे कंट्री से बाहर निकल रहा है तो FOB इतना है, बाकी सब आप ऐड कर लो. I hope you are getting it's logically correct. The exporter from USA will say, I will collect the export duty on FOB. Import duty we have to pay on FOB plus transport plus insurance. FOB is free on board all expenses up to the point of loading the goods in the vehicle, vessel or aircraft. CIF, once the goods reach importer's country, importer has to pay cost, insurance, freight. Okay? Yeah. Just 2 minutes, huh? There's an emergency. Okay. If in case the cost of transport is not given, you have to take 20% of the FOB. Insurance is not given, 1.125%. This is asked in MCQ abhi June 2024 MTP, and so many times in the problem also. Where goods are imported by air, the cost of transport, that is also called as freight, shall be restricted to 20% of the FOB. Done? FOB is cost plus profit plus freight in their country, local taxes, loading, export duty sub. Till the goods are exported, all that is incurred. Okay, right. When CIF is given, see, maths logic hai, FOB plus the freight is equal to CIF. FOB plus freight. 1 second, and the screen is not moving. So 120, 120. Where CIF is given, but the transport cost is not given. Then the transport cost would be CIF into 20 divided by 120. I hope you are getting. If FOB is not given, then how will you calculate this? Into 20 divided by 120. Same for the others. Chalo. Now if you do 9th question, it will be clear to you. All concept teaching part is over. Now some problems we will tick and check, and some problems we will do it in notebook. ये वाला तो simple है, इसको check कर लेते हैं. ये देखो. Raj has imported a machinery by air. So air is a reminder कि 20% से ज़्यादा नहीं होना है. Bill of entry is 20th of October. However, entry inward is 25th Jan. So for the purpose of rate of duty, basic custom duty rate, okay, you have to take 20th October or 25th Jan. 25th Jan 2024. 9th problem, na? इसको change कर दो. 1 minute, I'll also miss out later. 2 seconds, please. Very nice problems these are. 7 plus 7 marks, no? Or last? हाँ, देखो. $5,500 is the CIF given. CIF is always inclusive of rate and insurance. So you deduct 1250 and 100 to get what? FOB. Huh? Once you get FOB, okay, then how much will be the air freight? Not more than 20% of the FOB, 830. What is actual air freight? 1250, not allowed. Ma'am, then why did you deduct this? Because FOB plus the freight plus the insurance is CIF. So CIF agar diya hai, to you will minus this, then only you will get the FOB, no? And once you get the FOB, now you know that the goods have come by air. So freight cannot be more than 20%. And insurance, they have given actual. If they don't give, then you have to take FOB ka 1.125%. Done? You get the assessable value. And in rupees, you can convert. Now for conversion, you will take RBI rate or civic rate. Civic. So RBI to nikalo. When you are importing, which rate of exchange you have to take on which date? The date you present the shipping bill, not entry out, but shipping bill. मतलब 20 January, मतलब 66. 66. Karo into 66. Are you getting this answer? Yes. Clear? Why did we take 66? Now you got the assessable value. Now what is the rate of the basic duty? 10%. Nothing even social welfare to lena hi hai. Now what value you are getting? You have to charge IGST also at the rate of 18%. You get the total value. Oh, this is wrong. This is total value. Duty के लिए ना यहाँ पे और एक column बनेगा. For duty, you have to make one more column. And what is that column? You have to write like this: 35,528, 3,553, and 70,985. These are the total duties to be paid. Easy. Why did I deduct from the CIF, the air freight, actual wala air freight given? Why did I minus? To get the FOB. And in FOB now, how much to add? 20%. Nice, clear? This is 9th. Let us check the 10th one. 1 or 2 we can do in the note also. 10th one is saying that FOB CIF, if anything is missing, in all the ways they have asked. This is a scanner question for 6 months. December 2019 actual exam ka question. That time it was 6 marks. Now 7 and 7 marks hi rahenge. Okay. Following details of the export of the product are given on 19/11/23. FOB. Freight and all is not given. And insurance is given. This is situation 1. Situation 2. Freight is given. Insurance is not given. And these goods have come by air. ऐसा तो नहीं दिया है ना कहीं. Compute the assessable value of the imported product in each situation. 3,000. Now freight is not given. So how much we should take? CVRS custom valuation rules, 20% of the FOB. And insurance is to given. So what is the CIF? 3640. Such an easy question. Good? Easy? Now, if FOB is given, freight is given, insurance is not given. Insurance we can take 1.125% of this and round off. That gives you the value. Okay? Right. So now moving to the problems. Acha, are you clear? When will you minus? When they give the CIF value. And when it is air freight. Value of the material. Carriage freight, insurance, export country wala lenge? Yes. Loading lenge? Yes. Free on board. If not included, include commission. ये पूरा मैंने आपको already पढ़ा लिया है. Commission. Other than buying commission. Packing. Other than returnable cost. क्योंकि वो तो फिर refund होता है. Other designing charges. Royalty. Value of the subsequent resale if payable to the foreign supplier. Value of material. We are importing the goods, but some material we have supplied. That is also a cost, no, for us. So this is the FOB for custom. Now on this FOB, 20% is the freight, 1.125% is the insurance. It's not 1/, it's 1.125%. Yeah. One more thing you have to add is ship demurrage charges on chartered vessel, lighterage of the barge charges. See, all these charges, if they are incurred in the export port, you have to take. But in the India warehouse, if the goods are kept for overdue period and you have to pay demurrage charges to clear the goods to your factory, that will not be added in the custom duty. Followed all of you? See, the meaning and all will be clear from these pointers. Place of importation means the custom station where the goods are brought for being cleared for home consumption. Unloading charges or landing charges at the place of importation shall not be considered. Unloading charges I have taken, ma'am, आपने अभी लिए हैं. वो they were in his country, loading and all in the ship. But unloading charges on landing charges at the place of importation, they will not be. Because you have to pay import duty on import. पोर्ट में आने के बाद उसका बाकी सब जो चार्जेस है वो नहीं लेंगे. Buying commission means the fees paid by the importer to his agent for the service of representing him abroad. Buying commission will not be taken. Other commission you can take. When the ship is not brought up to jetty because of the deep drought at the ports, or ports are busy and they are being shifted to other small cargo vessels, the charges for bringing the goods from outer anchorage to the jetty is called as barging and lighting charges. Okay, barging and lighting charges. Ship demurrage charges on chartered vessels, lighterage of the barge charges. Means the ship is in high sea, yet it has not touched the port. But because there is too much rush on port, or sometimes because of the tides and waves, that big ship cannot come to the shore. So the goods have to be unloaded and shifted to smaller ships and then brought. So all these are called as ship demurrage charges on chartered vessel. Goods are still in the vessel, तो include करेंगे. Port पे आने के बाद you will not incur. Please do this part again, this last 30 minutes, and you will be like super clear. Okay. Demurrage charges payable to the port for delay in clearing the goods are not included. Falling cost will also not include. Custom duty, erection charges, transport and insurance from the port to factory. उस पे थोड़ी. See, we are calculating assessable value, just imported, pay duty, bye-bye. So after paying duty, when you're doing bye-bye, if they are paying demurrage charges or if they are paying some transport charges from the port to their factory, that's not a part of assessable value logically also. Yeah. Cost of development charges in connection with the imported machinery. Port demurrage charges and unloading charges, what you have to pay in India, that is never included. Ma'am, तो what you are paying? इंडिया में नहीं इंक्लूड करेंगे तो फिर ये क्या है? Ship demurrage charges on chartered vessel when it is still there, goods are still there. Any other charges incurred after importation you will not take unless inspection charges. हाँ, inspection charges are pre-decided क्योंकि once we import we have to pay the inspection charges and then only it will move. तो वो एक we will take. In short, all the expenditure incurred by the importer or exporter in the exporter's country ले लो. On way, freight and insurance ले लो. Over and out. After coming to our port, ये हुआ वो हुआ कुछ भी हुआ, they will not take. Clear? Right? Nice simple questions are there and some MCQs are also there. तो दोनों ले लेते हैं. Okay, these are just practice questions. When I come to those kind of exam questions, I'll say price actually payable to the seller, cost of packing material, labor charges, price of the material supplied. क्या-क्या चीजें आप लोगे? Is this a complete question, beta? No. This is just a question for practicing your FOB in their country. अभी तो इसमें फ्रेट इंश्योरेंस होगा, फिर CIF, फिर ड्यूटीज. ठीक है. और ये दोनों तो सी से, ये एयरवेज है. एयरवेज में 20% of the FOB is the restriction. Price actually paid to the seller. Cost of the packing material, yes. Labor charges over there for packing, yes. Price of the material we have supplied. We said, okay, we are sending this wooden containers, isme aap bhejo. Yes. So this is the FOB. Now, insurance is not given. So FOB ka 1.125%. Yes. Local transport in India, no. Freight is given 1000. और ये तो आ गया accessible value. All the cost plus the transport and insurance will give you the accessible value. Accessible value means which value, beta? CIF. Clear to all of you? These are all very important basic problem, but do it with alertness ki when I should do minus, when I should do add. Please comment whether you're watching live or recording. Is it all clear to all of you? Same way for the case 2. Okay. Case 2 देखो 20,000. Then we have also supplied some material. So 20,500. Will you take the local transport? No. Now both are not given. So transport, how much we can take? 20%. Insurance, how much we can take? 1.125%. These rates are fixed, beta. FOB 20,500. Material supplied to part है. इसका 20% और इसका 1.125%. You get this. Third one is little nice. I want to solve here only on your own. Don't look at the answer below. हम इसको खुद से करते हैं. Okay, 30,000 में we have imported. Packing we have done. Labor we have paid. Some material we have supplied, done. Till here, what do you get? This is imported by air. Huh? So 30,000 plus 500 plus 300 plus 2,000. How much it is? 32,800. 32,800. Now, cost of freight is given 12,000. But how much is allowed? 20% of this. That comes to 6,560. Even though actual freight is 12,000, it will not be considered for goods imported by airways. Maximum freight allowed is 20%. Ma'am, insurance actual वाला ले लेंगे ना? So 6,560 plus 600 plus 32,800. 39,960 is the value. 100 रुपए का फर्क क्यों आ रहा है? 32,800 plus 6,560 plus 600, no? Oh, sorry, insurance is 500. This is the local transport. This we will not take 500. 39,860 is the answer. Are you learning step by step? If I import, freight is missing 20%. Insurance is missing 1.125%. Very important for MCQs. But if I am importing by airways and if freight is given, then also it is restricted to 20% of the FOB. And FOB plus freight plus insurance will give you what, beta? CIF. CIF पे हम क्या करेंगे? Duty charge करेंगे. Sure. From the following particulars given below, find out the assessable value of the imported goods under the Custom Act. Just the value of the goods. So many questions like this in the scanner. Forget duty rate, ये वो सब छोड़ दो, सिर्फ value ही ले लो, आप बस हो जाएगा आपके लिए. Okay. Yeah. So first, cost of the machine in exporting country, particulars and amount. Transport charges incurred by exporter. Yes. Handling charges paid for loading it in the ship. Ship export के लिए buy करे तब तक का all the expenditure. Will you add 10? Yes. Buying commission paid by the importer? No. Buying commission is paid to third parties to help us in import. That's not added. Freight charges from the exporting country to India, of course. So 2,100, 300, 2310, and exchange rate is 65. Freight charges they have given, huh? Oh, they didn't give the freight also. This was the transport from the factory to the port. So insurance they have given. No. Then you have to charge both. Freight you have to take 20%. Freight from the exporting country 200. Okay, you're getting this, and then currency rate and all single is given. Okay, check. This is a nice problem. 13 problem, market important. Do solve it in writing with all the explanation given by me. You want me to solve it here? We can also solve for practice. Because if we shift to the notebook, it will take little longer time. Or XYZ has imported certain equipment from Japan at FOB 4 lakh. Other expenses incurred are freight from Japan to India. Okay. Freight is from Japan to India. लेंगे बट लिमिटेड है कि कितना लेंगे आप 20%. Right now it is 40,000 na? 4 lakh yens. ठीक है. इंश्योरेंस पेड टू इंश्योरर इन इंडिया रुपीज में है. फ्रेट जो है फ्रॉम जापान टू इंडिया इज येन्स 40,000. तो ऑफ कोर्स वी विल कन्वर्ट 40,000 into the currency. Currency rate आपको दिया होगा ना? Yeah. CBIC has notified one rate. Interbank rate is given, and their XYZ has affected payment to bank based on some other. Forget it. But which rate you have to take? 0.69. $27,600. I hope you all are getting. Freight is given in yens, so you have to convert it. 27,600. Okay. Insurance is given in rupees. No problem. ये दो रुपीज में ऐड मत कर देना. This is yet in yens. We have to convert it. So I'll just keep it here. जब भी FOB आ जाएगा उसमें we will add freight and insurance. So 4 lakh is my first price. Now, designing charges paid to consultancy firm in Japan. Okay. So do we need to add that? Yes. If you pay designing charges, royalty all in Japan, you have to add it. 60,000. XYZ Industries has expended 2 lakh in India for certain development activity. Okay. That we will not take. XYZ has incurred road transport from Mumbai port to factory. No. Commission payable to the agent was 5%. Shall we take it? Yes. Only buying commission नहीं लेंगे, बाकी लेंगे. तो भैया आराम से करो. हाँ. I imported for machinery or equipment worth 4 lakh yens, and I have also paid designing charges in yen. So 4,60,000 को convert करना है. क्या rate से करेंगे? Civic 0.69. 460 into 0.69. 317,400 rupees में. And now freight and insurance are in rupees. है ना? फ्रेट भी था डॉलर में, हमने कन्वर्ट कर लिए, और इंश्योरेंस तो रुपीस में. नाउ इफ यू विल गेट योर आंसर. Freight and insurance we have taken. Designing charges we have added. Development and all expenses are incurred in India. We will not take. Commission. Commission payable to agent in India was 5% of the FOB in rupees. तो वो commission भी add करेंगे. देखो 5% of the FOB in rupees. कमीशन 4 लाख का कितना परसेंट है? 5%. और you have to pay it in rupees. So 4 lakh into 5% into 0.69. 13,800. अगर आप इंडियन करेंसी में ले रहे हैं तो 13,800. Commission why I have taken is clear, and it's taken on 5% on the FOB, और फिर उसको रुपीस में कन्वर्ट किया, और फ्रेट और इंश्योरेंस भी ऐड करो. देखो कितना आता है. Assessable value is 368,800. See, they have taken commission up. It's okay. I took commission, convert karke in rupees. They have taken it in yens, and then total free on board. Designing charges, development or road transport और ये सब नहीं लेंगे आप, क्योंकि this is after coming to India. Commission you will take, and this you will take. Okay. Easy. So sometimes there abhi they have not asked, but agar CIF के ऊपर अगर इसी question में if they add you the basic custom duty 10%, SWS 10%, IGST 18%, compensation says 28%, तो और थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाएगा. But the sequence should be clear. Yeah, I did say we will go a little longer, but we'll complete this. 14th question. How your answer will differ if an information regarding freight and insurance are not available. Here it was available कि freight ऐसे था, नहीं है तो you have to take same 20%. 4 lakh is there, designing charges are there, commission is there, 480. Okay, and if the convert तो कर लो, अगर इंश्योरेंस नहीं दिया है तो 1.25% of this, freight नहीं दिया है तो 20% of this. So this will be your value. See, now we have given, they have given the freight 40,000. So we took that. If they don't give the freight, we know the freight is 20% of the assessable value, and insurance is this. ठीक है? Okay, nice question. 15th one. Can you do it on your own and share the answer? Just 2 minutes. And 15 minutes and class will be done. Very simple problems are there. Okay. Saurabh Limited as having imported a machine from UK and air freight. Air freight is indicator that freight cannot exceed more than 20%. So now what is the FOB of the machine? 10,000. Freight is given. Engineering and designing charges we have paid 500. So will we add that? First of all 10,000 and 500. Now license fees relating to import which is payable by buyer as a condition of sale. So we have to pay royalty, license fees, designing charges. All this will be added to the 20% of the FOB. Yeah. So 10,000 का 20%, तो वो भी 2,000 add कर दो. So this is the basically the FOB for the export. Okay. Material and components supplied by buyer, but these are in rupees. So of course this we will add after converting in the pounds into the rupees. Insurance they have given. So we will take 6,000 directly. Buying commission you don't have to take. Interbank rate waste. Civic rate yes 70.25. So can we convert FOB, engineering, license, all? If you convert, you will get this value. Now material supplied, add it. Okay. Now material supplied by the buyer freely. Actually, this should have also been added up, but this was in rupees, so we added here. Now air freight cannot be more than 20% of this. So what is the actual air freight they have given? 3,000 pounds. करके देखो 3,000 into 70.25 2,10,000. Actual air freight is 2,10,000, but up to 20% means it will be this. Clear? Right. So this will be the air freight. Now insurance actual they have given. I want to repeat, insurance actual you take, not given 1.125%. But freight, because it is coming by airways, it cannot exceed 20% of the FOB. Not this FOB. FOB before charging the freight. Export hone tak ka all the expenditure you add. Okay? Right. So you get the assessable value. Buying commission is not considered. You can write a note. Smile Limited has imported a machine, $10,000. Freight from port to India. Okay. This is 700. So FOB में freight add किया. Insurance. Insurance is in rupees. तो add तो होगा, but नीचे add होगा. ठीक है. Designing and development charges you have paid there only. Royalty, license fees, designing charges all paid over there. Add. So 12,700. Exactly same problem. What you did as 15th. Now importer has also spent 50,000 in India for some development work for machinery. That we will not take. If you incur any expenses after importing in India, development work for machine, import होने के बाद अब उसको paint करो, develop करो, कुछ भी करो, that's not the part of the assessable for charging duty. So we'll not consider this with a note. 10,000 was spent in transporting machinery from Indian port to factory. No. Very common example and very common repeatedly asked question. Now rate of exchange given by RBI. No. Civic. Yes. So this you convert. Add insurance. And now foreign exporters have an agent. This also you don't have to consider. Commission is payable to agent. Foreign exporters have an agent in India. Commission is payable to agent in rupees. 5% of the FOB. Okay. We will pay commission 5% of the FOB. Now there are two FOBs. One is the basic FOB. One is after designing, freight, insurance all. So of the basic FOB, 5%. 10,000 ka 5% is the commission. Ma'am, why did you take this commission? Because it is payable to agent in India. We have taken in rupees. Only commission you don't have to take is the buying commission, which is paid to a third party who represents you abroad. Baki to sab lenge. Check. Do you have any doubt? Do it in writing. Because of the schedule constraint, I am explaining everything in detail. हाँ चलो इसको बिना देखे करते हैं यहीं पे. And if you're watching as recording, pause the video, do the 17 problem on your own in 3 minutes, and then check the answer. That will build up the confidence like anything. Yeah, chalo. So 17th problem we are doing. Hope Limited imported goods from Switzerland. Following other details were incurred. Okay. 400 units were imported at 110. So 400 into 110. $44,000. Freight is given. It's not airfare, it's vessel. So le lo. Freight. Demurrage charges paid to the port authority. Now, where you have paid the demurrage charges is important. If it is paid in India while clearing to the port authorities, you will not pay. If it is paid as a part of export, तो ही लेंगे. Nothing given, we'll take. It's paid in India. Don't take. Freight मैंने ले लिया. This is FOB. I've taken freight. Shall I take insurance? Yes. $50. Huh. Royalty for use of the patent. Yes. Royalty लेंगे. Royalty as a condition of the sale. Yes. That also we will take. सब लेंगे. और रेट ऑफ एक्सचेंज दिया है आपको 70 रुपीज पर डॉलर. कितना आ रहा है देखो 44,000 प्लस 5,000 प्लस 50 प्लस 1,000 70,050 into 70. This is the assessable value. 49,03,500. Okay, easy. Demurrage charges payable to port for delay. See, what are demurrage charges? If you don't take the goods from port on time, for the delay you have to pay. That is not included. Royalty and license is directly paid. Okay, all that will form part of the goods. So until now, we have finished doing all the problems as per rule 3. What is rule 3? Transaction value you have to take. I'm repeating. Rule 3 is transaction value. What is the transaction value? वो आपको starting में पढ़ाया ना बेटा सब. ये देखो. If not, let me revise again. You got what is the tariff value? 1,000 kgs you are bringing at 100 kgs at 1,000. तो ये हो गया आपका transaction value. Department will say no. These 100 kgs of soybean will value at 900 per kg. If they give the tariff value specifically for palm oil, soybean oil, some cases we will take. The value of import is fixed by CIVIC. Transaction value is arm's length price where buyer and seller are unrelated. Now, in hierarchy, very important for MCQs. If transaction value is not given, primary method, what's the secondary method? You can take the transaction value of identical goods. Just before some time, same company, same goods you have imported at what rate? Take that value. Or transaction value of similar goods. What is identical goods? Exactly same goods ka earlier lot. Similar goods is, suppose I use say this phone of Samsung on this phone of Vivo. They are having the same features. So they are called similar goods but different companies. But same. If not, you can use the deductive value. What is the deductive value? They'll give you. Matlab, deductive value matlab, finally the selling price in India. This is like your NRV method. So final sales value minus the profit I am going to sell will give you the NRV, and on that deductive value. I'll tell you, aayega. Nothing given, you can take the computed. Computed value means the cost for the exporter. Uska expense, his profit. will give you his computed transaction value. Charge the duty on that. Residual method, nothing given, then you have to follow the method given by the proper officer. So have we covered the transaction value arm's length? Yes. Okay. This is to be used on nahi hai transaction value to identical goods. If that is not there, then similar goods. If that is not there, then deductive or computed. Deductive and computed can be interchanged. Pehle computed, then deductive, or the residual value. Okay, right. Check now. Transaction value is तो clear. Take everything except the, ये तो मैंने आपको अभी बता दिया ना. All problems what we have done now, they are with transaction value. Now we will take up the other values. Identical goods and similar goods. Identical goods and similar goods. So value of the imported goods shall be the identical goods. Theory question. Huh? Nahi hai to identical goods you can take. If identical goods means goods which are it's not small, same in all the respect. Same in all the respect, including physical characteristics, quantity, reputation, all produced in the same country. Abhi jahan se you are importing from that same country, from that same person. Yeah. Identical goods do not include goods which are engineered, developed, artwork, because it keeps on changing. Identical goods should be sold at same commercial and quantity level. Where no such sale value is found, transaction value of identical goods sold at different commercial level can be taken with adjustment. Just for your knowledge. Where more than one transaction value is found, then lowest of such value you will take. Transaction value of similar goods. Okay. Transaction value of the similar goods. Ma'am, what's the difference in the identical goods? Exactly same earlier lot. Similar goods is maybe a different brand, but from the same country, from the same. All that is same. Similar goods means which are not alike, but they have the same type of the characteristics, the same configuration and all. Okay, rest all the points are copy pasted. If the value cannot be determined with transaction value, similar goods, identical goods, then you can take up deductive value. What is deductive value बेटा? क्या बताया आपको? Minus करेंगे. समझ में आ रहा है? I think last class I did the problem ना, जैसे safeguarding में भी minus, normal price minus this, वैसे. Where goods being valued or identical are sold in India. See, how do we do? NRV method. Final selling price minus profit minus after sale expenses. बस वैसे. So the value of imported goods, how will you calculate? By deducting commission usually paid, cost of transport and insurance and other expenses incurred in India, and custom duty. See, CIF may you add the custom duty. You add other expenses. Okay, you add other expenses, custom duty and all, and you get the final selling price. So, ye minus kar do. In India, what expense you have incurred minus. In India, what duty you have paid minus. In India, from the port till the factory, whatever additional insurance, you will get the CIF charge. Up to down or down to up. Clear to all of you? 2 minutes. It will be very clear to all of you. Just see the format what we have made in note. Did you get how did we get the CIF? Yes? CIF समझ में आया सबको? FOB. Add the freight insurance जो waterways से या कैसे भी आ रहे हैं तो insurance you get the CIF. On CIF you add the custom duty. You add the local transport to take it to your factory. You add other expenses. You get the final selling price. Maybe you add your profit also if it is there. So in India, you are selling it in how much? These many rupees. Minus expense in India. Minus local transport from the port till the factory. Minus kar do. Minus the custom duty. You get the CIF. Once you get CIF, can you charge? So deductive method is used as a last resort. India में कितने में बिक रहा है मालूम है? We know. We don't know how much we have imported. We can use that. Okay? Right. Check. Following are the sales details of, yeah, very important point I missed out once. In deductive value, where the goods are sold or about the same time of importation, it shall be at the unit price at the earliest date after importation but before expiry of 90 days. After importation, within 90 days, whatever selling price you have sold, highest number of goods see, I imported on 1st April 2023. Now from here 90 days, I may have imported at 85 rupees, 90 rupees, 100. Maximum kya rate se import hua hai, take that. Very important point for MCQ. I want to repeat, the day you have imported the goods and before the expiry of 90 days after such importation, what is the rate at which highest imports are done? Okay, right. That you have to take. Dekh lo. Where such goods are sold in India after further processing, then value shall be the unit price after processing or sold to unrelated and other cost. Okay? Following are the details given to you. 10,000 units are imported. Now see. On which date you have imported? January. So January say 90 days, March. So this to you will not take. 7/5 you will not consider. इसको तो छोड़ ही दो. अब जो बाकी import हुए हैं at 100 rate 1000, 1500, 1000 and 1500. At 98, 2000 and 98 के रेट से और एक बार import हुए हैं 1000 और एक बार import हुए हैं 1000, 4000. Okay, these are at 98 rate. Now 101 पे one lot 500. On 99 पे one lot 15. Are you getting what I am doing? How many lots I have imported at different rates in the coming 90 days? So I imported at 100. Alag rate pe I have imported. Okay. I have imported highest at 98. So we will take 98 as the final selling price. Highest quantity I have imported and sold at 98. So 98 we will take. Assuming expenditure incurred in India, including profit is 18, reverse. Selling price minus expense minus profit 80. Duty is charged on such article at 25%, including social welfare surcharge. Okay? So don't charge directly 25. This will be 125. I hope you are getting, we are going reverse. So 25 कितना होगा? 80 into 25 divide by 125. 16 minus 80. Now see, if I have imported, my CIF is 64. Duty is 25% of 64. 16. So this is 80. Add my expenses and profit 18 and sell it in 19. Is this way clear to you? We are going reverse. Selling price 98. India's expenditure and profit is 80. So 80. 80 minus, what do you call it as? Your duty. But duty, if you take 80 ka 25% gone, it's 25% on CIF. And this is the value after the duty. So this is 125, 25. Kitna? Cross multiply, you will get the answer. So your CIF is 64 and you have imported 10,000 units. So 6,40,000 units pe you have to calculate 25% duty. Same one more problem is there, 19th, you can do it. Exactly same. exactly same. But here selling price में finally the post shipment, once you clear also again you incur freight, no, from the port to your factory. Insurance also on road in India, that is given. So you get the accessible value and charge. How will you take the computed value? Cost of the goods and all, profit of the exporter, other expenditure as per rule 10, वही royalty design same. Nothing given, then residual value क्या है? You have to take reasonable general principles and calculate the value. Okay, but no value shall be determined on the following basis: selling price in India of the goods which are produced in India. Only imported goods selling price you can take and go reverse the way I went in last 5 minutes. Otherwise you cannot. A system which proves acceptance of the value being highest of two values. Price of goods on domestic market of the country of the exporter. So these are the constraints. If they are given, don't take this value. Exported goods के लिए value क्या लोगे? FOB. Rate क्या लोगे? The date on which shipping bill or bill of export is presented. Yeah, an FOB value. See, when we are exporter, then FOB. CIF तो उसके लिए होगा, importer के लिए. Clear? Right. These rules I have given for like import, you have these rules, just read it, not much important. Okay, right. So basically we have completed everything. Now one more class I will take up, in which I will take up some more practice questions, 20 to 25. Can I give it as homework? You practice and then we meet and discuss. They are very nice questions. मैम इतने ज्यादा क्वेश्चन की जरूरत नहीं थी, जरूरत है. So 20 to 27. 20 to 27 are all homework, and then you have MCQs also. Okay. So after this, we will take up. Okay. I know it's very late for lunch now, and I don't want to do it. Will become monotonous also. You practice the questions and then check up these problems from 20 onwards till 27. It will cover all the varieties, especially the reverse ones. So one more class I'll take up to cover up these questions also. And last MCQs are also there. पीछे देखो, correct करके आओ. It's all homework now, but definitely I will meet to check it out. That's all for today's class. Thank you so much. The last class for all the accessible value questions and your what do you call this? इसको क्या बोलेंगे? MCQs. ये सब live रहेगा. Maybe probably after lunch. I don't want to keep the live on and then take the lunch and continue. वैसे करें? तो lunch break ले लो, खुद से try कर लो, and then we will continue and complete this. Okay? Right. ठीक है, I'm not closing. Take how much time? 20 minutes? 20 minutes and we'll be back to check some more questions. Okay, right. If it gets closed also, you can re-log in again. Exactly 2 o'clock हो रहा है ना, 2:30 करते हैं. Do some good quality problems in the break. Again, rejoin. We will continue with more good problems and MCQs. Okay.